Hi everybody, this is a quick overview video to go over your Unit 3 module for the course. This is the final module for the course. It's going to contain the final two portfolio assignments for the course, as well as the remaining process and discussion work. So let's get into it. Y'all already have started on the discussion from week 9, social media genres, just talking about the different genre characteristics of different social media platforms. What are some of the things about each of those platforms that emphasizes certain multimodal elements, certain audiences, and things like that. Getting into, let's take a look at the schedule of activities actually, looking at week 11 right now. We're going to pick up basically starting on Monday, looking at chapter 6 in your Writer Designer textbook, working with multimodal assets and sources. You'll have your first process assignment for the third module due by the end of next week, Sunday, November 6th. So you got a little bit more than a week from now to start working on that. And then a discussion related to chapter 6 for next week as well. The following week, there'll be some content in the module, and then process assignment number 6, which I'll go over in a moment here, the following Sunday, and then another discussion for the next week after that. In week 13, this is the week before the Thanksgiving break. So Writer Designer chapter 7, and then a discussion for week 13. Week 14 is our Thanksgiving break. We only have classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, or Monday and Tuesday of that week. So look at the content in the module and submit your third portfolio assignment to the Dropbox by the time that basically we return from the Thanksgiving break on Sunday, November 27th. And then for the final couple weeks of class until the exam periods end, you'll be working on your fourth portfolio assignment. So you've got 2 portfolio assignments, 2 process assignments, and then 3 discussions to do for the remainder of the course. Let's jump in and take a look at those. So as I already mentioned in this first discussion of the module, what you'll be doing for your final major assignments is a social media campaign based on MPC Reads. Y'all already have some experience doing that. So in the second unit, you did that infographic about a topic related to the MPC Reads sub-themes. We're just going to continue on with that. The benefit of that is that you can use a lot of stuff that you've already done, like the research that you've already done, like the thinking about audience that you've already done. You can reuse all of that for this. Please feel free, and please do copiously borrow from and use from your previous work for these final assignments. So week number 11, working with technologies. Chapter 6 in Writer Designer talks about this idea of finding multimodal assets. So assets are things like pictures, maybe audio clips or video clips, things like that. Talks about organizing them, keeping them organized in a way that you can find them easily, that you know what they are, and that you can use them in your projects. It talks about some copyright considerations. It talks about a lot of things to think about as you're looking for multimodal assets, as well as where to look for them. So for your social media campaign that you're creating for the MPC Reads theme, start an asset library with at least 6 assets for the campaign. Use the organization tips from the chapter, and then share a screenshot of your asset library. The book talks about how you can just put this on a thumb drive or your computer if you want to, and that's perfectly fine with me. I'm a big believer in whatever works for you. I'm a big fan of cloud storage. So through your MPC account, you get access to OneDrive. You can also use Google Drive. So if you choose to use a cloud storage account or a flash drive or just save it on your computer, all that is fine. Just organize it according to the chapter principles and share a screenshot of your assets and the organization that you followed. For part 2 of this, post a summary of how and where you collected those assets and how you applied the considerations from the chapter, etc. So like the copyright considerations and things like that. Read through a sampling of the posts of your classmates, focusing particularly on those particularly on those to which benefit from, and you can add relevant or insightful comments that expand the discussion. So respond to 2 classmates, just kind of extending the discussion a little bit there. For next week, process assignment number 5. So let's kind of jump down to the portfolio assignment, the full instructions for this social media campaign, okay? So there's a lot to it, but each one of these parts is just, you'll submit it as part of your process work. So basically, everything that you're doing here under portfolio assignment 3, you're just gonna kind of break apart and submit in individual pieces as we go throughout these last about 6 weeks of class. Okay, so design a social media campaign. It's going to be 4 posts, 2 of them static images, 2 of them with video, along with some text, with some pictures or emojis, with some hashtags, adding that to kind of create a good, engaging social media post that you'll post on our class Instagram. I'll create a class Instagram for everybody to post their social media campaign to. Remember, it's all about MTC Reads mental health themes, the one that you did for your Unit 2 assignment. Okay, so there's a sample submission in the module here. If you look at, I think it's right above so that it doesn't get lost in all that text. Right here, social media campaign sample assignment. So here's a sample of what the end product will kind of look like. This one includes 3. I'm asking y'all to do 4, and I'm asking y'all to do 2 static images and 2 with video. So it's going to look a little bit different in those ways, but this gives you a good idea of what the final product is going to look like. This person does it on design principles. We're doing it on MTC Reads mental health themes, but you get an idea of what it looks like. So you can review that and take a look at that. Review the social media campaign assessment form. That's up here by the discussion in the week that we'll do the peer review. That's right there. There's a little rubric where you'll give your peers feedback on their draft social media campaigns. Of course, review all these instructions as well. Start to consider an overall campaign idea that can be conveyed in a hashtag. Hopefully, if you thought of a good one during your Unit 2 assignment, then that's great. If you want to revise or rethink that, you can do that as well. But certainly, if you thought of a good kind of unifying theme or idea behind the topic for Unit 2, you can go ahead and run with that. Make some notes about the key points, and then gather images related to your campaign idea, which you'll be doing for this week 11 discussion, week 11 discussion a little bit. Okay, getting back to the assignment. So start putting it all together. So you're going to start by defining your social media campaign topic, theme, and style. So basically, this is the planning work that you'll submit to me as one of your process assignments. That's process assignment number 5. Okay, your topic, rationale for selecting the topic. Your target audience, be very specific. We've been talking about audience a lot this semester. Voice and tone. Using unifying color palettes. There's an example of the color palette in this sample right here. And then there's a link to the Adobe Color Wheel to help you select colors. Other unifying elements like fonts, graphic style, etc., and the campaign hashtag. So that's going to be your 5th process assignment, to kind of plan all that out and submit that to me. You do not have to have the social media posts completed at this point. This is just the planning. Do these things here where you're planning it all out, and submit that to me as your process work. Next, start putting it together. Review the research you did in Unit 2, 2 post static images, 2 posts based on video. Start by selecting an image or collage or video or animation without words as the basis for your first post. Okay, and then repeat for each one up to 4. Add some text for your caption. Keep it short and eliminate any unnecessary words. Add in your hashtags, add in any emojis, any other elements that you want to use to engage your audience. Use Adobe Express to create 3 social media posts. See the tutorials. So I've got links right up here for Adobe Express and the tutorials, and I'll try to post some more specific tutorials as well. Adobe Express is free to use. All you have to do is click this link, sign up for an account if you don't have one already, and kind of get to work on it. And of course, there's the links to the tutorials if you need a little bit of help. Also, if you need a little bit of help, that's the topic for our week 12 discussion. Post 1 tip and 1 question that you discovered while working with Adobe Express. It used to be called Adobe Spark. Now it's Adobe Express. I'll have to change that. And then 1 reply with either a link or an embedded video or something like that that helps answer somebody else's question or helps add a little multimedia element to somebody's tip that they posted. Okay, so putting it all together using Adobe Express, then download the graphics as a JPEG image, put them in a Word document, and then fill out that Word document with this information. So your topic, the theme and style. Remember, you can go back to that planning stage and just take that and put it in here. Campaign hashtag, and then purpose of the post, title, intended message, the graphic, and the caption with hashtags and optional emojis. A list of sources in MLA, and then save it as a PDF. Submit that to the Dropbox for your process assignment number 6. And then the following week, what you're going to do is you're going to post that to the discussion for peer feedback using that assessment form. So you're going to assess 2 of your peers using that assessment form, and 2 of them are going to assess you using that assessment form. So that's going to be our week 13 discussion, getting peer feedback. And I'll jump in there and give y'all some feedback as well. Then the following week, you're going to work on your revisions, and then you're going to submit it to the Dropbox. Again, that is November the 27th, the Sunday before we start back from the Thanksgiving break. Then after that, all you have to do is your final portfolio assignment, which is a proposal to a specific client with your social media campaign. So this might be a nonprofit organization, it might be somebody else, but you're going to take this social media campaign that you created for number 3 and make a proposal, a formal proposal for a specific client for number 4. So you're going to give an overview of what you're proposing, articulate your goals for doing this social media campaign. Is it to increase sales or traffic or engagement? And how is your social media campaign intended to do that? How do you intend to measure those outcomes? How do you intend to hold yourself accountable for those outcomes? Project timeline, that can be as short as a few sentences. You can make a Gantt chart, which I'll post a link about Gantt charts. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be all that long and drawn out, this section. The scope of your work, posting schedule, content creation and curation, brand keyword or hashtag monitoring, analytics and reporting, social media management details. So some of these about managing the analytics and things like that might be new content. Some of it might be able to come from the process work that you did for the 3rd portfolio assignment. But if you can reuse something, then I encourage you to do so. Project sample and description, you can literally take what you submitted for portfolio assignment number 3 and just copy and paste it into that section. And then proof of your work. Why should you be the one to work with this client and not your competitor? And then follow up next steps. This doesn't have to be too long, maybe just like a paragraph or 2 or a slide or 2 that talks about, well, what does your client do if they want to follow up or proceed? You can do this as a written proposal, or you can do it as a PowerPoint presentation or like an emails or Prezi presentation. The choice is up to you. But that will be basically the final couple weeks of the class. All you have to do is work on that and submit that by December the 11th. That's a Sunday as well. That's the last Sunday before the semester ends and grades are due. So definitely some rearrangements to the schedule here. Hopefully I've paced everything out enough for y'all to be able to kind of keep up with it and streamline it enough to where you're not really doing a lot of busy work. You're just kind of creating a social media campaign and a proposal for that campaign, and then not really doing a lot of repeated work, just the process work really directly involved with creating those 2 things. So I hope that it makes things easy on y'all that way. And then hopefully with basically spending the last, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is kind of 2 weeks, 5, 6 weeks of the course working on that. We'll end this course with y'all having both a nice infographic and a nice social media campaign that you can use in your writing portfolio. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you want to schedule an office hours appointment, I'm available for office hours appointments. I'll be posting more links in the module with things like tutorials and stuff like that as you go along with this project. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.